The War Within officially launches this week, which means your promotions and everything else that are going on will officially take off today. So that's exciting stuff. Let's get into what exactly is happening. As you know, the Parlock mount that was we talked about before, he is available if you stream for 15 minutes through Discord. Yeah, that's just a little something. You don't have to be an official streamer or anything. Just set up a little stream quickly and stream to yourself through Discord, and you can get this mount, the Parlock mount, by accepting the quest and doing the little stream. Moving on to the Twitch drops for today. They do start today. The Charger Twitch drop you can get again for just watching 4 hours of a stream. I know putting up with 4 hours of mine is a bit tough, but I think many of you can make it through it and get this mount. Now, there is also the Support a Streamer promotion going on, where if you give 2 Twitch subscriptions to any participating streamer, of which I am one, you can get the little bird here. So that's great for anyone. Watch of the Huntress, yes, starting on August 26th and September 26th. So there you go. Now the Trolley Gummy Worms is also kicked off starting September 1st, so just around the corner. Get yourself some candy trolleys. You get the little pack. It should have this image on it, and you can get yourself a gummy pack. Farfall, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Coming in. Ballad. What, you gifted? Oh, wait. Cadence gifted 2 subs. Thank you so much, Cadence.
Another death knight.
Yeah, the guy's name is Bald. I'm sure that's why he got the gifted sub. Thank you again. 2 Death Knights of our Scourge there. Again, you can get the Trolley pet, which will give you the little gummy worm pet in-game, so that's very, very cool. We also have the Steel Series promotion, which does offer the Lil Flamo pet, as well as the Grinning Reaver mount and the Ebony Turtle mount. If you buy some of these things now, they are a bit expensive from Steel Series here.
Without further interruption, let's celebrate and suck some dick.
That sucking dick can happen, of course, but you might not want to do that instead, or you might do it just to get some money to buy these things, because they are a bit expensive, but unfortunately, that is how expensive things are these days when it comes to peripherals from a lot of places. There's also the GeForce RTX 4070 from MSI. This is the World of Warcraft edition, where you can get an expansion on the back of your card. It's really cool, and there is a sweepstakes going on where you can actually win one simply by, I think it's calling them out on Instagram or something like that. I talked about it not too long ago. There are directions in here on how to do it, of course. And then the World of Warcraft story, if you haven't done this, Zalatath can tell your story in World of Warcraft, you know, just highlighting some of your stuff and then claiming that you won't be able to actually do anything against her. So that's really cool. Moving on to some interesting news in-game, Blizzard removed the ability to disable experience. Now, why would they do that? Well, recently I talked about how people could run with level 70s through dungeons and evidently complete them super quick and level up super fast. People were leveling up to levels 80 in less than 3 hours by using this strat. So what they would do is lock level their level 70 and then bring them through the dungeon, and that evidently makes everything much easier. You can one-shot the entire dungeon pretty easily, and people were using this little workaround cheat code basically to level up really quickly. Well, from now on, once your character is level 70, you will not be able to lock it anymore. Same goes for what they did in Mop Remix, which was level 69, same shit. But now you can only lock a character once it's 69. If it hits 70, it's no longer lockable, so you can no longer use this dungeon running strat, unfortunately. For fast travel elevators, yes, if you didn't know, now you know. I was playing the other day and chat was telling me, hey, there's an elevator. Did you know that there's an elevator from the Isle of Dorn to the Ringing Deeps? A lot of people are complaining about how long it takes to fly between zones in the War Within, because there's no really diagonal flight path to anything. If you want to go from the top to the bottom, you got to fly through every zone. Well, there is the Isle of Dorn and Ringing Deeps elevator, and you can actually get this by completing the quest Rust and Redemption. Once completed, you'll actually be able to go in here whenever you want, click the lever, and ride the fast travel elevator between the 2 zones. I actually didn't know this was a thing, and chat was telling me the entire time I was playing, so here it is. You just got to complete that quest, and you'll be able to use this elevator to travel much more quickly, at least through these 2 zones. As for the others, you're still going to have to take your time flying. So with the War Within, we know reputation grinds have begun, of course, and here's some ways to quickly get some reputation. Rares, of course, is always a good way to get rep, and Rares continues to be the best way in the War Within. So for a unique Rare defeated, they will drop 150 reputation depending on the zone you're in. For Ash Kahet, this zone drops 50 reputation for each of the generals. So there's Vizier and the Weaver. I guess you get 50 for each one. Unfortunately, this is not a daily farm. and shares a lockout with your warband. However, it can still provide players with a significant chunk of reputation to help boost their factions. So yes, running around, of course, you can use handy notes or rare scanner to find these rares. And yeah, hunting down rares was a good way in Dragonflight, and again, it continues to be in the War Within. While hunting rares, you can also, people have found, get some really cool transmogs. There's some nice recolors and stuff to be had. Some nice shields here, which are recolors of previously found shields in the game. Some Dragonflight stuff here, a nice Corintor inspired one as well. This is actually an offhand and then a crossbow here. There's some daggers, a few weapons, different things. Again, recolors of older stuff. Some really cool stuff here. You can get yourself a Bone Storm. Yes, a Bony Storm Bone Boy in a green recolor. This is an interesting one. One that caught my eye, certainly. This really cool backpack, which is a recolor of another coagulated backpack. And then a nice little dagger here. Yeah, very cool with the Raven Lord on it. That's nice. This transmog set will also be available. The Earthen Adventurers transmogs in blue. So you can get the tabard, the shoulders, and the cape all matching very nicely. I do happen to like how these War Within dwarven earthen aesthetic shoulders have been looking on people. I've been seeing a lot of people use them in transmogs. The Cobalt Miner's Pivel is a nice little thing here. You can also get this little pickaxe. Some really cool different profession-related stuff. I've been seeing those weapons popping up. Also, you can get some of these from fishing, which is kind of cool. But yeah, these are some of the things you can get for the killing of rares, along with the reputation grinds that you'll be completing. Another way that you can get good rep is doing the Dornogal Weekly Dungeon Quest, which awards a lot of rep, especially the first time you do it. So you pick up this quest from a Burgoth or in Dornogal, and the first time you complete it, you'll get 1,500 reputation, which is a big fat chunk. Yeah, it's a good one. To a faction of their choice, and then repeating completions throughout using your alts, your different warband characters, will give you 115 to 225. Depending on what you're doing. So that's a really nice way to get some quick rep. Of course, you're going to want to do this on a weekly basis. It's a weekly dungeon quest reward. Whenever it's available, get in there and get it done. That's a really good way to grind out some rep. Now, another thing people are going to be wanting to hunt down besides reputation and transmog is, of course, mounts. Yes, mounts, there's plenty of them to be had. We talked about it. I think there's 36 new mounts to get right now in the War Within, and this is a really nice way to get some. So, first of all, a really, really easy one to get is the Swarmite Hunter. If you don't know how to get this one, you guys remember those little Dragonflight coins that we used to kind of level up our dynamic flying when we first started Dragonflight? Well, they do exist in the War Within, and if you get all the coins, you get the Khazalgar Glyph Hunter achievement, which will also give you this little Spider Boy mount. So there you go. That's a very easy one to get, and of course enjoyable too. I actually like looking for those things without an add-on. Don't cheat. Just fly around and actually find them. It's so ugly and cute. Yeah, I agree. Reigns of the Soren Meterbee. So this is another one that you can get just by grinding a little bit and killing some mobs. So you have to get the sizzling cinder pollen, and the way you do that is actually killing mobs around this cinder brew meadery. So go in there. There's a lot. It's a very high drop rate, especially if you're killing the elite bees around the meadery. But you can also kill non-elites and around the area and get some what's it called? The honey as well, the sizzling pollen, I should say. And once you get enough of it, I believe 900. You can go ahead and get yourself this little Flame Boy bee, which is actually probably one of the coolest there. Look at that little thing on the back, too. One of the coolest bees I've seen in the game, actually. I'm not a big fan of the Bug Boy mounts a lot of times, but this one actually is pretty cool. So that's an easy one to get as well, just sitting around the meadery and grinding out some mobs. Now this one, this is a big boy. This is a big boy. There's a version of this that drops from the raid. So getting this mount would be pretty cool. How do you get it? Well, this one known as the Seas Barge. And it is rewarded for completing the quest that starts from looting the Vial of Cathas blood, which drops from the rare elite to Cath. So it has a pretty high drop chance, so you'll likely get it the first kill. You must be around the 78 or higher to do the quest. The quest line requires you to collect different items from Nerubians in Khazalgar. First, you'll need to collect the Nerubian Chitin, 1,000 Venom, and 1,000 Blood. While the Chitin can drop virtually from every Nerubian, the other two are limited to Nerubians that can drop it. So you're going to have to ride around a little bit and find the ones that do. The blood seems to drop from Ascended Nerubians, but it's too early to nail down exactly where. Okay, they're still trying to figure that one. And then it should take a couple of hours to finish them out, but the progress is mostly incremental and doesn't require a lot of RNG once you've obtained the Vial of Blood, which they did say is a pretty high drop rate from Takatha, whatever his name is, the world boss. So there you go. This one's actually really, really cool. I'd like to try to get this one. Moving on to the Dauntless Imperial Lynx. Now, this one's actually limited right now. You can't actually get it just yet, but you can get very close to getting it, basically starting off the questline for it. So while some RNG is required for this one, it's locked behind the launch of Season 1, but players can already get started on working at it. The Dauntless Imperial Lynx, this mount is contained inside the Lamplighter's Supply Satchel. So you're going to have to get this satchel. The way you do it is by lighting lamps around the zone. Yeah, so this is an event that spawns large lamp lights and smaller ones. The large ones take 20 radiant remnants to light them, and the smaller ones take 3. Lighting major key flames creates light for 20 minutes, granting a bonus objective that can be completed to get the satchel. And again, the satchel has a percentage chance of dropping this thing. Lighting lesser key flames unlocks a weekly quest and a hat that has a chance to grant the satchel. So there you go. That's a pretty cool one. Again, you can't really get it just yet until Season 1 kicks off, but the Lynx Boy is pretty cool. Little short-tailed cat mount. Yeah, not bad. And then we also have the Void Reaver guy, this Beldar spawn. This one, you're just going to have to fly around and kill him. There are groups currently forming and looking for a group trying to find him. There's a map here of all the locations, but you got to kill him and hope that he drops. There you go. It's a cool little Void Boy mount. This one, it kind of reminds me of the Shadowlands, what was it, the Mythic Plus season rewards, except those had armor on it. This one's an armorless one, so it's kind of cool. The first one I've seen that's armorless in the game, but yeah, you know, a little Void Boy mount. Again, you just fly around, try to find him, and wherever he spawns, and kill it and hope that it drops the loot. I want that one so much. Yeah, this one's actually pretty cool. And then last but not least here, the Regurgitated Mole Rains. Another rare drop where players have to kind of fly around and find it. It drops from the Lurker of the Deeps, and the Lurker spawns in the Ringing Deeps. So here's a little mount of the places that he could spawn. You're just going to have to fly around and hope you find him. What is it? By hitting... It can be summoned by hitting 5 levers in the zone. Oh, so it's not just a random spawn. Within 10 seconds of each other. Oh, so you got to fly to these spots within 10 seconds. So you might have to do a group to this. The rare has over 22 million HP that scales the more players that attack him. It takes 1 minute to spawn once all the levers are hit. Oh, okay, so this is the Mole Boy mount. Yeah, if you want yourself a little Mole Boy mount, that's how you're going to have to do it. And you probably have to group up, but I guess you don't want to do it in a raid or something because he gets more health the more that people that are in. So maybe like how many levers are there again? What is this, a 5-man group? 4-man group, 5-man group? Yeah, so all these levers are going to have to be hit. And then he spawns here. Okay. So that's 5 levers with a spawn point of right here. Interesting. Okay. So that's pretty cool. And then you can get yourself the Mole Boy mount. Not bad. Dumb? Maybe. There's a few free things to get. If you're not one to chase rep or try to kill things, there are a few free things to have in the game. One of them is a Kazumite Cola mini fridge. Yes, so you can go ahead and get this mini fridge. It'll be able to spawn for you. All you got to do is go to the Goblin mini fridge, the Kaja-Cola machine, and hit the buttons in this specific order. Once you do that, you purchase the drinks in the specific order. The machine will break, and you'll be able to loot your mini fridge from the dispenser. Here's the location of the Kaja-Cola machine. This is pretty cool, actually. Nice little tidbit there. And then Arathor's Carrier Satchel. Yes, a free, I believe, 36-slot bag that can be had just by flying to this area. You can obtain the Windswept Satchel, a treasure found in the southwest edge of the Priory of the Sacred Flame building in Hallowfall. Once you do that, you just kind of scoot yourself to the edge, grab the bag, and there you go. You get yourself a free bag. Not bad at all. And the final piece of news today, if you did get a Vicious Saddle, I envy you, first of all, because I'll never be able to get one of these. But if you did, you can now purchase your Vicious Saddles at the vendor locations in Stormwind and Orgrimmar, showing off how badass you truly are. Of these ones, honestly, I think maybe the snail was the best one. Yeah, the armored snail with the armor on the eyeballs. I mean, how's that? How could you beat that, honestly? But yeah, if you have the Vicious Saddles, you can go ahead and purchase them now in your local capital cities.